up there, you know, kind of in the middle of the pack. But we're entering the ban and protects for map 1, evac, hardpoint, kinetic armor, rapid fire, already off of the table. You expecting anything crazy to happen here? Maybe like an afterburner ban?
I don't think anything too wild. I'm trying to think last night, DT did much to mix it up. The only thing that stood out a little bit, but they've done it in the past, was they protected concussions in a couple of respawns, and I believe in the S&D as well. So that's something at times they will like to keep. And this is going to be a pretty fast-paced map. Obviously, a lot of aggressive sub-play here. Who do you think has the edge a little bit as far as that goes?
I think it's kind of even. It depends on what you're going to get from killing. I love that perk 1 greed ban. Now you have to choose between flak jacket as well as afterburner. And HUK, they did this a lot last night, and they wound up bringing out the war machine to keep their opponents honest.
I almost like leaving in overclock, though, if you're going to do that, you would think. Kind of make the decision a little bit trickier.
CLG were the ones who banned overclock, and DT
Oh,
did
I thought they went. I was thinking they went back to back for some reason. So okay, that makes a little more sense, but it's a little less necessary, I guess, once you have to narrow it down to 2 perks. But does that think maybe do you see people attack Simtex, maybe attack grenades, because now you have to make that decision. If those make it through, they become that much more powerful.
Oh yeah, for sure. Maybe you could even go after trophy systems and make the grenades even more effective. Who knows? But Heatwave gets banned out too. Shiva's still in play. All the tacticals still in play. And we're down to our final 2 bans. And there's the afterburner ban. So now it's like, oh, that perk 1 greed ban kind of goes to waste at the end. But
interesting.
Really only flak jacket, the only viable one left.
Well, now you don't have to worry about HC. You don't have to worry about any kind of grenades there.
Might as well just run flak.
Yep,
and
simplifies
there go
things a bit.
HCs.
Well, I mean, that doesn't even really make sense at this point because everyone's going to be running flak for the most part.
I mean, look, HCs are like always good, right? You could use them as a distraction. You could just weaken the player inside the hard point. There's a lot of different usage you could get from the HC, especially in some of the other game modes. But here on hardpoint, when it comes to like setting up to break, if you have an HC, it just makes breaking so much easier.
Certainly does. But now you got to think pretty much all 8 of these classes are going to be using flak for the most part, unless someone, you know, maybe they opt to not go with flak. They're going to decide to maybe throw another attachment on a gun, maybe run another tactical. As you mentioned, we're going to have some tacticals here. You're going to have, Karma with danger close. We might have some extra nade classes because, well, if you're going to have flak though, I guess that doesn't really make that much sense though.
Just even it weakens up the player, but I think for sure you want to be using perk 3 greed here because you want to have tac mask on, and maybe they decide to just scrap their entire first perk to make room for the points on their classes.
That's true.
But anyways, Purifier Scythe looks like we'll be going up against the Purifier, the Scythe, and the Tempest on the side of DT. So going with 3 specialist weapons. Killa, I think he's going to maybe pick up Camo here. Yeah, that's going to round things out, whereas Perplexed, it's going to be Psychosis versus Tempest, the difference in the specialist here.
All right, well, now players going to be editing their classes here, Evan, before we hop into game 1. It's going to be the final best of 5 in the stage 1 for these 2 teams. And again, really now it's just kind of about pride. It's about seeding. You know, can you bump up a little bit? But it's tricky right now because I think when I was talking to Matt, it's Cloud9 that I think he said has the #1 seed. Potentially if they come out, obviously these teams have to battle through relegation still to even get to land. But it was something like, I think he said Liquid was the 3rd seed when Cloud9 eclipsed, something like that. But
sounds about right.
We'll have to wait and see because now it's interesting. It's like, do you want to bump up if you end up playing Liquid? Maybe do you feel a little comfortable maybe playing Cloud9? That's scary.
I mean, I think both these teams, they do want to win this match just because you want to end the stage on a high note.
Oh, yeah.
But let's look at, their matches earlier in the week, right? CLG, they choke a Game 5 against TSM.
What was it, 5-2 lead?
Yeah, 5-2 lead.
Because I was casting here trying to watch, dude. I was
I'm
like,
sure you heard us over there.
Yeah.
They had streaks, they had specialists, and they let that slip through their fingers. Not the first time it's happened to CLG. DT, they have a big upset win over Envy. What's been going on with Envy as of late, man? This is like a couple weeks ago. They were in the contention for like the #2 seed, #3 seed. And then now they're starting to spiral all the way down.
I got to think. I mean, it just comes down to team chemistry and communication almost 100% to me at this point. There was obviously something going on with Aix when they brought in Havoc for a bit. There was some sort of disruptive thing going on there. You've seen him and Slasher bump heads. And now that they brought him back, it's just obviously not okay.
It's even worse.
It's not okay. It's just something's going on with that squad.
They need a Dr. Maven therapy session.
They do. And I'm curious when they get to land, could they put their differences aside and come up with a big performance? Because, you
had the same concerns about them going into the LAN qualifier here.
They're great.
They performed well.
That's why I think, as bad as Envy has been online, these past couple of weeks, I guess like 3 weeks in a row now, really.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if they come out and just start stomping some people at LAN. Because, I mean, this is like, think about any of your top teams, usually when you have a lot of all-stars, whether it's a major sport or something, they bump heads a little bit, but typically when it comes championship time, they're ready to make a run. Like, you think like Kobe and Shaq, they didn't love each other, but they won a lot of titles. I think Aches, the crew, they'll put their differences aside once they get to LAN. And
yeah, I think when it comes down to
line.
play for some of the big bucks in the prize pool,
Yeah.
I think they'll set their differences aside.
I think so too.
Perform like the Envy squad we're used to seeing. But Dream Team versus CLG, the first matchup tonight here on the secondary stream. It's a battle for seeding. Who could get that #1 seed going into relegation? Have a chance to maybe go up against one of the maybe weaker challenger teams, but if there even is going to be a weak challenger team that makes it in, I mean, all those teams pretty deadly. Evac Hardpoint, a map all about the SMGs here. The man I want to start things off with is going to be Killa.
All right, let's kick things off with him. We'll take a look at the class once we load in. I want to see what all these guys are running if we have flak pretty much all around.
No
so
flak,
you're
no
checking a
flak.
couple, so it's half and half. And you've got
Everyone
So
on
everyone on CLG running flak, half and half on DT. So we'll see if Grenade's able to make a little bit of a difference. But you'll see Killa loading up, going to be pushing in first. Tags up one, puts shots in another, but is going to drop.
Diabolic posts up behind these middle boxes. He's about to get challenged by the CLG players, and he just gets bullied outside the hardpoint. CLG hardpoint, one of their best game modes. So if DT, if they're able to steal this one away, I think that'll put them in a good position for the overall series. As CLG, they're getting a lot of work done inside the hardpoint. Let's switch over to Perplexed as he's about to find some action.
Well, Perplex is
Oh,
doing.
never
Look at
mind.
accuracy and
stole all
felony.
the kills.
The accuracy and felony are both 4-0 starts right now. Felony's been a guy that's really been stepping up for this team in hardpoint.
He's got
You're seeing
streaks.
why. He needs 100 more points already for his Cerberus. He's starting off 6-0, and I've actually seen him do this on this map several times, just opening up really, really hot. Great entry kills off the break, and he should have his 7th in a row there. Full streaks already for a felony. Already calling in the Cerberus here, basically to hold this back spawn for the second hard point. I love it, man. Except they're all pushing the front. Oh, God, he has mapped him.
I mean, at this point, like, he's just killing everybody in sight. He's going to push back in towards bottom kitchen, finds another kill, takes out Chino, checks his quarter. Sender finally puts a stop to his madness, but he wastes no time calling in that Cerberus. And I'm really glad you brought up that point about Felony, because he is one of those players that had a pretty slow start to stage 1, but he's really stepped it up, especially in those respawn game modes as of late.
Yeah, he has. And Hardpoint specifically, I think he's been kind of a monster. Methods as well. They actually, you know, despite the fact they've struggled in stage 1, their Hardpoint game's been pretty good. I can't remember exactly what the record was. Something like 12-8, 14-8.
It's just all those other game modes that
Yep.
they're just not so great at.
It's actually ridiculous how many series they've had a 1-0 lead and end up throwing away.
14-1?
Yeah, he's having a beast of a game right now, and let's see if he continues it here. He popped the camo, tries to find one, saw one go low, tags up another, and finally that player he first saw go low ends up taking him out. But yeah, he's a human highlight machine. We'll have to watch Felony quite a bit throughout the beginning of this one.
Method's now inside the hardpoint. He's starting to earn some score streaks as things they're quickly getting out of hand for Dream Team right now. The Hellstorm missile does whiff from Felony, but Methods knows these guys. They're nearby. He's even going to ping his lightning strike. Looks like he will decide to call it in, just deciding where he's going to place those missiles, but he's 25 points away, spots one player in front of him. That should give him the Hellstorm missile just like that. And this could be the second Cerberus already for CLG, and we're only on the third hard point.
Oh yeah, this is brutal. He's on a 7 streak. What do we have? At 8 or 9, I think we had from Felony earlier. He's 15-3. I just realized that Chino is 0-10. Chino, one of the better slayers in the game. A guy I love in the hard point is just getting beat up a little bit early.
He got his first kill. He's back in the game.
There he is. He got 2. This has been all CLG.
No Cerberus from Methods either. He dies.
Wow. This is bananas though. And does Felony still have a couple streaks left, or he?
He used them all.
So,
oh, okay, just the lightning.
Okay. So lightning coming in. They're trying to clear this third hard point. They still have the Cerberus in there. Did he actually kill his Cerberus?
No, it's still good.
Okay. I thought maybe he'd hit that with his lightnings.
Yeah, possibly, but the lightning strike really good on this specific hardpoint. You can just push everybody, force them outside the hardpoint, but with less than 5 seconds now remaining, it's all about the rotation over towards glass. You got Chino here already setting up, but he just gets taken down by accuracy. Everybody from DT frantically trying to push forward off the respawns, but CLG, this is the slaying power they've been missing all stage long. Let's see if they can keep it going throughout the entire game.
Watching Felony again now. He's had this hot streak to kick things off, trying to work towards that camo, work towards streaks again if possible. Hipfire coming in, grabs another, picks up 2 before ultimately dropping 60-point advantage right now for CLG. And honestly, with the start of this game, just how it's been watching it, I'm surprised it's not more of a victory.
I mean,
more of a lead.
Well, look, this is the 4th hard point, so there have been like 180 total points up for grabs. And CLG, they've gotten like 100 of those
true.
points. That's still
true.
pretty good, especially when you're limiting DT
Well,
to
look at
less than
accuracy's
40.
19-9. We were focusing on Felony and Methods early on, but everyone just crushing right now on the side of CLG. How does DT come back in this one? They just got to start winning some gunfights.
Yeah,
in my
you need
opinion.
Chino to find his way back into the game. Everybody going negative for DT. I mean, at this stage in the game, when Killa is like your lead slayer, something's going wrong, and Methods, he's going to need him some more score streaks as he's toasting everybody on that DT squad. He gets the Lightning Strike, the Hellstorm Missile, the Cerberus, and he still has juice left in the Purifier.
Oh, they spawn out back, and this is just murderous. He's crushing everything right now, lighting them up. He goes on a big streak. I think we've had 7 streaks or so in this game already for the side of CLG.
Yeah, 1 for Felony and 2 for Methods.
Unbelievable stuff out of these guys. And for all I know, Accuracy may have picked up a massive streak as well. You see him getting it done there with the Man of War. He was the late addition to this
They're
CLG
just all lining
team.
up for them. Perplex finds 3 now. He's starting to heat up in this game. Things are not looking good for DT.
Well, this is one of the most significant margins when you're just talking about slaying that I've seen, I think, at a hardpoint. It's what, 13, 11, 20. You're talking plus 30, 35, somewhere in there right now?
I'm impressed you could do math.
Oh, I was just guessing there. I was trying to get a rough
You're
estimate.
just guessing.
I was guessing. It's somewhere around 30. But no, this is wild. And they still have this 100-point margin of victory. You see, you do have 3 specialists up for the side of DT.
So 37.
37? Yeah. Wow. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, really good stuff from CLG to start the night off. And you know, if only they did this against TSM last night.
Yeah, very
Maybe
true.
they
well,
would have had a
I mean,
chance here.
they were. They had the lead in the game 5. Cinder not getting faked out at all by the clones there as he's able to pick up the kill. CLG just trying to close this one out. Methods used his Cerberus. You can see it kind of rotating around the backside of mid-map. He has a couple of streaks left. He'll probably save those for the 3rd hardpoint as they're going to have little to no impact here. But the fact that they've been able to streak that hardpoint pretty much
So
in succession
consistently,
here.
yeah. And now Methods just controlling the Cerberus, bringing Big Daddy Cerberus into the hardpoint. Too bad it won't get points for you, but it gets EMP'd, will be destroyed here. But something that DT have not done in the ban and protects that is having a huge effect on this game is they did not ban stock. And I think that's something that's really helping out these SMG players from CLG. That stock attachment allowing them to just be so mobile, just with jiggle peeking corners and pre-aiming everything. I think that's a big reason why CLG have had so much success so far in this hardpoint.
Could not agree more. And can he connect with 2? Yes, he does. The streak's so vital on this hardpoint. You see via X-ray, one player trying to go underneath. He's going to see him, though, as he goes down. He's like, oh, there's someone in front of me. And he pre-fires. It works out perfectly as he's able to catch him. That was hilarious because if he didn't spot him there, he was definitely dead to rights.
Oh yeah, take note that he didn't use the Lightning Strike either, only the ping, so he's still going to have the missiles available
Well,
to
the
him.
ping saved his life.
Yeah, the ping kept them alive.
Are they trying to just run into bullets right now?
They're just lining up for the CLG players just to mop them down. It hasn't been pretty for the DT lineup, to say the least.
225 to 69. This is unbelievable stuff. Perplexed trying to pick up a couple kills there. His accuracy clearing him out. Cinder's going to go ahead and use the Purifier. I think it's one
with 10 seconds remaining, he takes out the Purifier.
Yeah, I think they've given up at this point. I don't even think I've seen the Purifier really used on the 3rd hardpoint.
Yeah, I mean, you got to pull out everything you got. You have a couple of specialists available to you. Might as well use them. Get yourself a couple more points on the board. It's just like that. Sender falls. It's going to be Felony. Pops his active camo, takes down Killa, turns right around, finds even more DT players. He will be shut down for the time being, but CLG only need 13 more points to close this one out.
Well, I'll tell you what, DT lost, not by this margin. I think it was about a 50-point win for Envy last night in the hardpoint, but DT went down 0-1, ripped off 3 straight. And where they really came alive was in the S&D. They 6-0'd Envy in that one. You know, if they can get a big win in the game 2, would not be surprised if they're able to pull this series back. But God, CLG scary in this one for sure.
Yeah, DT though, they're sticking in it, but it's only 7 points that CLG need. Like, it's a tall order for Dream Team. Not only do you have to hold on to all of the scrap time from the remaining hard points, you need to find a way to win the rotations, maintain control of spawns. There's so many different things that you need to do perfectly from here on out. Whereas CLG, they can continue to make mistakes. All they need is really just one lucky series of engagements and they win the game.
Yeah, they just got to break middle here once, and they should be able to close this out. Now they come soaring in from Flex, grabs one on stairs. Accuracy gets a couple as well, and that's probably all she wrote. Final points ticking in as CLG, 100-point clubs DT, and that was, I'll let you do the math. I'll let you do the math once we get to the scoreboard, but it was
Oh,
rough.
you want me to calculate the outslay?
Yeah, I don't want to pull out a calculator here. I have seen
Come on, man. It's just addition, subtraction.
I've seen Golden Boy do that live on broadcast before, and it was embarrassing. It was absolutely embarrassing.
Golden Boy's strong suit, it's definitely not mathematics. But anyways, a convincing win for CLG in game number 1 against Dream Team. Really impressive stuff. Unfortunately, they're really just playing for seedings. I think if CLG had this type of performance against TSM last night, definitely would have helped them win that match.
Well, that's true, but this is, it's 4 seeding, and then also, again, these teams are both getting relegated. This is kind of, view it like practice.
Yeah.
You have, I think relegation starts this coming weekend, so this is more or less a scrim right now for your team. Try some different stuff out, maybe. You got to think, like, you're going to be playing teams kind of a similar caliber right now to this, like CLG, DT level. So, I view it as a pretty good practice session.
Maybe try some different things in the protect and bans.
Yeah.
Would love to see a trophy system ban.
Well, that seems like a good time to do it, right?
Yeah.
You know, you
get comfortable playing with it, show it, but maybe they've been practicing, with that stuff kind of off stream.
That's true.
And they want to save it for when that match actually means something. So here we go. Here's the after action report. So you have plus 17, plus 16, that's 33, plus 14, that's 47, plus 9, that's plus 56. Ridiculous.
That's as bad as I think I've seen. 56. Wow. Like that discrepancy in a hard point in Black Ops 3, that is as big a margin as I can remember ever seeing. Every single player is in that like 30 to 35.
Just look at all the kills from CLG. 36, 32, 37, and 31.
Well, DLT hopefully has a very short memory as they're going to need to hop into S&D here soon. And obviously a completely different game mode. The same thing happened to them last night, not beat up by that margin at all, but they bounced back very strong in S&D. CLG is a team that has looked solid in S&D at times, but also a team that has just crumbled with leads also. So we'll see if maybe they can hang on, get a 3-0. That would feel pretty good for CLG, as yesterday was a very, very frustrating day. You saw the guys on Twitter. They blew that 5-2 lead in Game 5. Everyone was like on tilt at that point. Just a lot of frustration.
It's not the first time CLG have choked a lead like that.
Yeah, I know.
Against Optic Gaming, they did the same thing when they went to Game 5 on Hunted. So it seems to be a recurring theme for the CLG team. And like you're saying, it's not like they're bad at Search and Destroy. I mean, you have Felony, you have Perplex as well. These are like the S&D stars of the team. And then Methods is really good at Search and Destroy as well. It's just, for some reason, when it comes down to, closing it out at the end of the series, just that one Search and Destroy game, they falter.
Yeah, and it could be players, just it could be the pressure. I think some teams have got a little bit better at timings of knowing when to expect specialists, when to expect HC cars and
just
stuff.
The timings and adding up the points.
It's a lot different than AW. AW was very fast and high flying. There wasn't a whole lot to it. It was more just kind of push and try to trade effectively. But Black Ops 3, very, very different from the fact that there are so many different tools that you have. I think some teams are a lot better just kind of knowing when these are going to get hit. When do you expect them to do an A push with overdrive? When do you expect this stuff to come out? And maybe that's it, because usually when they have those leads, think about it. When you're up like 4-2 or 5-2 or 5-1, that's kind of like when everyone's starting to hit all their specialists, right? And maybe things just start to turn around at that point. I don't know what the answer is for CLG. I'm just trying to make stuff up at this point. Because I felt so bad for them yesterday.
Yeah, definitely a heartbreaking loss for them. But the next map in the series will be Hunted Search and Destroy. So as I was bringing up the comeback from Optic Gaming against CLG on this map, we wound up actually playing it between both of them and DT. And Hunted, it's a map, it's kind of not in some of the the online tournaments that these guys play in. So because of that, they don't get too much practice. But still, I feel like the players have kind of figured out how to go about playing this map, especially on the defensive side of things.
Yeah, I think teams have gotten better and better at it. It was I don't want to say sloppy early on. It just wasn't really played a lot because you don't have different game modes on it. You're only playing S&D on Redwood. And I still feel like Redwood was the favorite of the two kind of players, so they would practice that a little bit more. It seemed to pop up a lot more in UMG wagers, matches like that. So I think it was just teams kind of developing. I'm trying to think of who we would watch that usually was. We've seen FaZe clutch up there. They were strong, but it was pretty 50-50 with a lot of teams. Some teams were just not very good at Hunted whatsoever.
I think Rise is a great team on this map.
That's true. Well, Rise, poor Rise. They lost Game 5, round 11 to FaZe both times on Hunted. I think it was.
Yeah, I think so. But it seems like every time I see Rise, they have just really good strats and really good timings when it comes down to just Hunted specifically. But yeah, Chino has just joined the lobby. We're just waiting for Felony now to switch teams, and then we could get this one started. But CLG, they're off to a hot start. I'm sure DT, the team morale is a little low right now after that Game 1 whipping, but we'll see if they can bounce back here.
Yeah, the one thing you have that's nice for this DT team, they're solid at uplink. They love it. One of their favorite game modes. If they can win this S&D, which they're a pretty good S&D team too, and push it to that Game 3, that's where they all of a sudden could flip this into a 2-1 advantage like they did last night against Envy. I would not be shocked to see that at all. If CLG wins this one, however, I think they've got the series, although that's stupid of me to say because we've seen that lead many times with CLG, right?
I mean, both these teams have had their Game 5 struggles, but DT, they've won 2 Game 5s. CLG yet to win a single one. So that's something that's going to hurt them. And both players taking their sweet time to figure out what they're going to ban out. Rapid Fire and Overclock will be the first 2 things to go.
All right, we'll see how this one plays out. If maybe we see DT try something a little bit different like you mentioned, maybe mix things up to some degree. I know last night, I think against Envy is when they protected the concussion grenades. If I'm remembering the correct matchup, I think is when I saw that, and they used them to great effect. They won a couple
Overkill.
They won a couple early rounds against Envy before they all switched over to Tac Mask.
So CLG are going to target the snipers here. Killa, is he going to miss his ban? No, he's going to get kinetic armor.
Would be the first time we've seen him miss it.
Definitely not, but I think CLG respects Chino's sniper enough to just go ahead and target Overkill. They might go after the thermal sight as well here. But things that are still in play, the Shiva, of course, SVG. There go the concussions, Flashbang still in, HCXDs, stock. A lot of different things that these players can ban out.
Yeah, there really are. And so Shiva will be the last one.
Pretty straightforward stuff.
Yeah, nothing that really surprises me. I'm trying to think if anyone has the edge maybe with the sniper, but not really.
Chino will probably bring it out.
And this isn't a map that usually, I mean, you can get some peaks at B. You will have thermal to work with as well, which makes that a lot easier. But I don't want to say usually the snipers have that big of an impact. You can't rock multiple snipers typically like you can get away with on something.
It's not like a map like
Infection.
Infection, like you're saying, where you could realistically like change the game with your sniper rifle here. On Hunted, even though it is a wide map, there are these long lines of sight. The sniper just doesn't seem to have as big of an impact.
Well, because that middle waterway, too, you can get to kind of close range spots a lot easier, and a lot of times having that pistol secondary is going to end up more of a liability than it is going to be benefiting the squad. But
I don't like that Psychosis pick.
No, what was the difference on the other side?
Vision Pulse. I like Vision Pulse a lot better, especially on this
I've
map.
just never been a big Psychosis fan, just because I think, I guess in the heat of the moment, if it's used perfectly, it can be distracting, but I think more often than not, it's just really obvious to me. And it's easy to say as a...
All right, pro player Maven.
Well, it's easy to say as a codcaster when we're thinking a little bit slower, we're not as frantic, we're casting the match, we're not actually playing. It just seems kind of simple to pick out sometimes when they're not used really well. But yeah, it's a different story when you're a player and you're playing 100 miles an hour and trying to deal with stuff.
I just feel like the information you get from something like Vision Pulse is just too good, like, not to use on something like Redwood, especially when, like, one of the main abilities get banned out. Here was kinetic armor. But, like, let's say you push up, like, right along the waterfall, like, that big mid box in the middle of the map. You pop your Vision Pulse. Oh, I see 2 players inside B. I don't see anybody over near the A lobby. Let's go A.
And just thinking about, the waterways, man. Like, it's hard to pick people out when you're under the waterfall and stuff. You have, like, you have 2 layers to the map pretty much everywhere, almost, once you get to mid-map. You're seeing the CLG roster there. They've certainly made a few changes throughout. You'll see Bielfire. He was replaced, obviously. Accuracy on the far left ends up coming in. And, yeah, that's not the correct one. But because they have the change after with Perplex coming in,
I guess that looks better than kind of like the unlocked character model.
Just the black silhouette. Yeah, that's true. And DT at far left, they added Sloss Boss, Killa. And he's been making an impact, in S&D. His respawn game's been a little all over the place, but I think he's finding his place with this team. Just over the past couple weeks, I think they've gotten 3 wins in the past 2 weeks, which I don't think they've had 3 wins across 2 weeks the entire stage 1, which is
they've really been turning things around just a little too late to make a push for like that top A spot. But
it's hard to say that after game 1.
We had this conversation a little bit ago where, would you rather, finish out the season strong with a couple of wins or, like have a big start to the season then falter at the end? But this is DT surging at the end of the stage.
Yeah, but you're not surging into the playoff is the problem. You will be surging into relegation, so maybe that's good for you. Yeah. You'll have maybe your A game, I guess, throughout the course of this stage 1 of relegation. But you're not bringing it to the $250,000 tournament, which would be much preferred because the way they've been playing lately, maybe they get to land, they can upset somebody. But I
love me a good LAN.
That's true. It's soon, too. It's soon. I leave tonight for Germany. I have a LAN in Europe. I get on a plane, I come back, and it's basically we start rehearsals for our LAN here. It's going to be a lot of fun. But getting ready now to load into Game 2 between CLG and DT. Going to be Hunted, S&D. Who do you want to watch off the rip here, Evan?
Well, it's going to be DT on offense first. First thing I want to do, are there any snipers? I see an XR2 from Killa. Chino does not have a sniper, and nobody from CLG has a sniper either. So as the action gets started, it's going to be Killa, the only man with, well, no, not the only person with utility here, but he's got the smoke grenade, decides to throw it out over near middle map. Now, Thermals did make it through, so Killa does have to keep that in mind, but this could block off some key line of sights from CLG.
Now, is Chino, did you check Chino? Is he sniping?
No.
No, he's not? Okay. Well, first blood going to be going to Felony. Diabolic trying to hit across mid there, and I think Killa saw him? I'm not sure. He was peeking that corner for sure. So
I think he did see him
there's two
drop.
players, maybe 3 players in water right now?
Yeah. Killa just spot one more.
Well, he scared him away.
Yeah, just trying to shoot a fish in the water. Not going to connect there.
And that player, is he inside a hut now?
Perplexed?
No,
He's gonna back up.
the one with Methods. Yeah, he is. Okay.
So Methods inside DT's hut. They got to be careful, especially since
Killa, I don't think Killa has
another
any
member.
ideas there. Yeah, Killa had no idea because he just came out of hut. Was not expecting that whatsoever. Now you're going to have Cinder by himself at a 1v3. He knows there's one inside. He gets it. Nice one burst there as he's able to tag up Methods, but unfortunately Perplex coming in from the rear, able to clean him up first round going to CLG.
That's a pretty convincing round too. Like,
Yeah.
DT, they didn't even see what the middle of the map looked like. Aside from Killa trying to shoot that player inside the water, they had no progression whatsoever. They just turtled on their side of the map, and CLG exploited that to the fullest extent. They found the hole in the setup from DT and just picked them off one by one.
All right, well, here we go. Counting down to round number 2. CLG's turn on offense. We'll see what they opt to hit. Looks like Perplex will be the one watching any kind of flank push. The rest will be targeting this B site.
Felony peeking out near middle map. He's going to get first blood there onto Killa. There is one more player over near the A side lobby. In the meantime, his teammates pushing in towards this B bomb site. Nate to follow up, but there was a player inside the water. It looks like actually did spot him. That's going to be Diabolic, and Diabolic pops up, finds the trade kill onto Felony, but coming around the flank, it's going to be Perplexed.
And
Little
he
does
took
know, he ran
shots.
right past
Well, he
Chino.
took shots on a player.
Does Chino see him?
Oh, he must have. Yeah, he took shots at Chino earlier in the round too, but this not going to work out. He is so dead.
Yeah. But the B bomb site wide open. If actually wanted to plant right now, he would get it down easy peasy. The rest of the DT players, they're going to group up, and this is the right thing to do. Group up, attack together, and just flood these players outside the bomb site.
And this timing is going to work out okay. I think, yeah, Accuracy will be able to get gun up here as soon as he gets off the plant. So they'll be able to get a little bit of positioning here, and now they just have to set up a bit of a crossfire. They're ready for the push. Methods will have the first opportunity. Tags him up, but that grenade comes in, ruins his day. Weak enough that they are able to take him out quickly. Second kill comes in, and DT, nice retake there on the B site.
Yeah, when you don't have the man advantage, holding onto that B bomb site is pretty tough because there are really 3 main entrances into the site. You could say maybe more if you count the water as more, but there's this kind of like mid lane and then, of course, the 2 other entrances. So too many things for these guys to watch. They tried to cut it off as best as possible with one player watching over near C-Dom, the other player looking over him, but just too many angles for CLG to watch. DT break in perfectly as they tie things up.
All right, all tied up. Nobody having too crazy of a start. Couple players on either side look like they're starting to get towards the specialist. What Cinder and Accuracy getting close, but we likely won't see those used for quite some time. One player is going to be playing defense on B, and Diabolic wants to go soaring. Should be able to get the surprise on this player, and he is. Nice route there across top middle. You see that used time and time again. It can be very, very effective.
Oh, yeah, for sure, especially when Overdrive is available, but he doesn't need to hear. Chino follows up with a kill onto Accuracy. There is a player moving through water. It's going to be Perplexed right here. Diabolic, is he going to spot this as the bomb? Looks like it's going to get planted shortly here from Killa. He's right behind the site. Oh, and right in front of Diabolic. He's going to get caught off guard as CLG trying to find a way back into this round as it's all up to Felony. He's been spotted. He's in the water challenging a player on the bridge, and just like that, Cinder cleans him up. DT take the lead.
Starting to come alive. I was getting worried after they lost that first round how game 1 went, that they were just going to get blown off the map. But they've come alive now. If they can win this map and take it to a CTF, or sorry, take it to an uplink, I am very confident they can win that uplink. Then I feel like we probably go to a game 5.
You think if they lose this map, do they win the uplink still, despite being down like 0-2?
They will. And I want to say I just don't have faith in them ripping off 3 straight, but it would not be the first time it's happened to CLG. So certainly is possible. Now let's take a look at the split. 1 mid, 1 watching the OE, and 2 towards B. Again, it looks like to be the break.
Felony is fearless, man.
Well, he got that first blood, what, 2 rounds ago.
And Diabolic, he found some early gunshots over near the B site. Killa coming back around. He takes down Methods with his pants down. As DT take the man advantage now, they're up 3-2. Perplex and Felony the last two alive.
All right, well, 2v2 here. Plenty of time on the clock. You can see bomb down by that B site. Do they realize they have bomb down is the question. It doesn't look like it by the way they're rotating over to A.
Yeah, tough position to really spot that.
Oh,
bomb.
yeah, it's down at water. I thought it was up on the bridge. Oh, yeah, you're not going to be spotting that.
So
Unless you have
like,
some goggles.
Yeah, CLG should be able to pick it up. You need like full scuba diving
Right.
gear to find that bomb. But these guys might actually meet each other here. Did Chino spot them in the water? Doesn't look like it. It's actually going to be kill a 1-to-1 trade. Here comes Chino around the back, though. He's going to come up.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. They're right next to each other. And they go different directions. Are you kidding me?
Now is the definition of COD timing. They might actually meet here
Oh,
at
my
the
God. This is absurd. This is absolutely absurd.
Yeah, Felony's going to challenge Chino.
He had a
wins that
VMP.
engagement. That was just weird.
That was weird. They just came up, split, neither checked their other side. They both wrapped perfectly back around to face each other. And what do you do there? It made up VMP.
I mean, there's so many different variables that could happen in that situation. Like, as you're saying, if Chino just checks the water, he would have found Felony. If Felony looks up, he would have spotted Chino. If they just turn around at any moment throughout that entire series of plays, they would have found each other. But anyway, Sender, he's going to decide to pop his overdrive here. Might decide to hit this sledge boost, but no, he's actually going to move right up towards middle map.
It's gonna be
and he will
Felony.
find one player here.
I bet you it's Felony.
Puts in even more shots into him, but doesn't find the kill. Does gain some presence over near middle map, though.
Diabolic starting to push forward. He is into A already, so he might be able to flank behind a player. Whoever's that red player at the bottom of the map, who's that? Accuracy should be getting flanked momentarily here. Yeah, Diabolic has got to get this kill. Yep. No, well.
He just doesn't have
well,
the angle yet.
Now he's got it. All right, so finally he'll be able to flank through. That's from him getting into that A hut very, very quickly. A lot of that hooked up by the overdrive.
All right, so 1v3 now for Diabolic.
So this whole time I've been wondering about his flank kill. The rest of his team got demolished.
Yeah, and the bomb has been dropped. He does have Heat Wave. I don't expect to maybe see him use it here. Maybe if he can make it a more manageable situation. But CLG, after dropping 3 straight rounds, they answer back with the round win to stop the bleeding. They bring it back to within 1 as we take a look at Felony here in the round-ending kill cam. Just get some good timing here onto Diabolic, but got to take note, he does have his Heat Wave available, so we'll see if he uses it in the upcoming round.
Could not agree more. All right, 3-2 DT. CLG is going to bounce back and win this game. I got faith, Revan. I got a whole lot of faith.
So?
Yes, I do.
And,
yes, I do. Well, Felony is now going to be the bomb carrier. He's been the one challenging top mid, right?
Yeah. He's going to do it again, too. He ain't scared.
He saw...
See, this is where Sniper could come into handy, because Felony's been consistently challenging this angle.
Well,
Chino brings it out and just...
Part of me feels like it's being challenged because no one's been sniping, yeah. But if he were pulled out, just get that first blood.
Actually, even though he has Psychosis available, pushes right up that B bridge. He gets taken out. It's first blood in the middle of the map, though. It's going to be Felony. Responds by taking down Diabolic. We'll spot one more player over near the lobby. Meta's now in a battle over near the B bomb site. Back to Felony as that player backs up. In the meantime, Perplex finds a kill. He might find another one. No, he gets taken down, so it's down to a 2v2. Methods and Felony versus Chino and Sender. It looks like they should be able to get this bomb down over near the B site, while the DT members will spend this time just grouping up and attacking at the same time.
Well, bomb now down. How do they opt to push? He's going to go right through the mid-cut. Unfortunately, both behind him. One in water, one set up at the cross. Can they get it done? He wins one-on-one. Now, as far as Specialist goes, he has his camo. He's going to opt to pop it. Do you have a Specialist for the other side? Felony should have his as well.
He also has camo. He's going to decide to pop his here just to check the bomb, so both players using camo.
It might wear off.
He will spot him here. He's going to fight, and he wins the engagement. CLG, they win 2 in a row, but that was a very weird round, right?
Well, his camo, if that cut off like a half second earlier,
like right here,
he got around the corners all mattered. So he was just not ready because he was hugging that corner with his crosshair.
I was thinking Chino, after he pops that camo, he doesn't see anybody challenging. Just go for the defuse after that.
Just stick it while invis.
Yeah, that'd be the ultimate ninja.
What's the exact invis time?
I don't know.
I'm
exactly.
not sure either.
Because look,
seconds?
something like overdrive, if you're standing still with overdrive, it'll deplete like so much slowly than when you're
I need to test that. I'm kind of curious. I've never seen someone try camo defuse. I wonder if
maybe if you played Call of Duty with us like a real friend.
I've never tried it. Do you lose your camo when you defuse? Have you ever tried it? I've just never done it. I've never even seen someone try it in a match.
Anyways, first blood comes in from Diabolic off the back of Heatwave, but like I was saying, man, if you're a true friend and if you play Call of Duty with the rest of us casters, then
I've been, dude.
can
I'm
test
trying
it.
to beat 7 different games right now. I have a real problem, all right?
You do have many
Trying
problems.
to juggle, you know, full-time job, girlfriend, 17 different video games. I'm aging faster than I already am.
Yeah.
As you can see by the wrinkles on my face and the lack of hair on my brow.
Well, you just really roasted yourself. I don't really have to say anything after that.
I'm good at that. I'm good at that. Well, Perplex now in a 1v2. He has the Heatwave. If he gets the timing here, might be able to tag both these players, but he's wrapping all the way around to A. They still haven't planted. They're just watching each other's back here, waiting for him to potentially push. And they are in perfect position to maybe get both Heatwave. If he flies and just pops it in time.
I think as soon as he clears out this bomb site, he needs to immediately go towards B. He might hit the waterfall wall run, and that would be his best bet to use the Heatwave. And yeah, now he knows they're at B, but he could definitely fight 2 different 1v1 engagements. Is he going to check this corner? Yes. Preems, he's got the stock attachment just like that. Takes down Chino 1v1, and he still has his Heatwave. Killa versus Perplexed.
And he just has a smoke. Nothing he can really work with.
Oh, they're going to find each other here.
But this range could be perfect.
Heat
Does he pop the Heatwave?
He doesn't need it.
even need it. And
That was scary.
He should have used it.
Yeah.
He should have used it.
Just guarantee the kill.
Some players are much better at quickly reacting to popping that Heatwave, like, you know, mid-fight, whereas sometimes others, I think, focus on the gunfight. That's somewhere where you want to use
It may have not
Heatwave.
even been in the back of his mind that, you know, he could use his Heatwave there.
Yeah, that's
Some
true.
players just tunnel vision on the scenario they're in. They're like, okay, 1v1, I'm in a gunfight. I need to win this fight instead of popping it. Like, if you would have popped this Heatwave, like, right here, boom, there's nothing. Just pop your Heatwave, thrust up. Kill would have no time to
He was
react
bloody.
to that. Yeah. Very close, but stock coming into play there for Perplex. That's a big reason why he won that round.
Yeah, we see more and more players opting to use stock on basically every gun at this point. All right, well, 4-3 advantage for CLG. They were once down, what, 3-1, I believe?
Yeah.
They've battled back. 7-4 for Perplex. Felony having a big game as well at 8-5. Perplex going to be watching any kind of push from the bottom side of the map. No one flying at this time. Methods tries the mid route, and Diabolic wisely waits behind. That's why that's kind of risky. Sometimes you pick up that really, really easy kill, the player peeking the corner, and sometimes someone's patiently in the back and you get shredded like that.
I mean, why do you even check that corner, though? As soon as you see that the bomb is clear, you should just go for the plant.
It's true. That's true. Instead of even peeking around to an M8. And we're 30 seconds into this. Perplex going to be by himself here.
And this is tough because he's so close to that HCXD, but he doesn't want to feed any more score or, well, he will be feeding Specialist Meter just by staying alive in the round. So that's something he does want to avoid, but he's just going to be looking for any sort of cheeky kills he could get here. As he turns around the corner, he will find 3 DT players pretty shortly, and he's just going to get caught at the tail end of a bad timing right there. Killa finishes off the kill. DT tie it back up.
4-4 is the score. Back and forth, certainly in this one. Again, both teams just battling for seeding at this point. And it's tough because I should have looked at it before we went live, and I don't even know. I don't know if it's final. Well, I guess it would be final at this point, the seeding, and we definitely do have it out. So I swear to God, Matt said it was C9. C9
Oh, for
Eclipse,
relegation
Liquid.
teams?
Yeah.
Look, realistically, like, the seeding won't matter until
Well,
we're at relegation, because who knows what's going to happen.
Who knows who's going to come out? You know,
Yeah.
we predicted a couple of the teams, but they could get knocked out. You're very, very right.
Anyways, into round number 9. It's going to be DT here on offense. They're going up for an A-bomb site push. It's going to be Diabolic moving around the outskirts here near the red chuck, but he's going to be met by one player, but he absolutely destroys accuracy right there to give his team first blood and the man advantage. So now, if they could work trades in their favor, as one player gets spotted out over near the middle of the map, it should be Killa maybe rotating
love
back,
this,
but
wrapping back.
they're just going to go over towards B. Killa's yet to see anything over here, and this is just giving DT just the heads up saying, hey, no, I don't see any defenders over near the B bomb side. I think we should just rotate back and plant.
I like the pressure towards A. They all went together. They haven't shown any A pressure, I think, the entire game. That's the first time we've really seen them push through the bottom side. They get that one kill. They wait for the rotation. They push it back. And who's that player top middle map? Yeah, that's whoever is shooting a Diabolic right now.
Of course, it's Felony.
He's made a home up here. He only had 4 bullets in the magazine. Didn't matter. He's able to pick it up, and unfortunately taken out from behind. Killa gets the kill. 2 versus 3. Make it a 2v2. Now you have what? Specialist for Perplex. He's the only one that has anything currently.
Well, he's dead, so that's not going to come into play.
No, it is
Methods
not.
now versus Sender. He knows where he is, but he's trying to back up the M8, trying to fight this long-range engagement.
Oh, get the door!
5. He gets around the corner, time winding down. Even if he finds the kill around the corner here, there wouldn't be enough time to defuse, and just like that, DT now find themselves one round away from tying up the series.
And I think DT wins this. They're going to win the series.
If they win this search and destroy right here, who wins in a game 5?
DT's going to win the third game 5.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's like the battle of the bad at game 5s.
Both of them desperately trying to lose a game 5.
Yeah.
Who could lose it better? It's like that South Park episode with the Little League baseball.
Yeah, right. Let's watch Chino. Is he going to snipe? Because he might go for the pick on Felony here. Let's see if he's able to get it. Because Felony has put pressure top middle every single time.
I've been waiting for this to be brought out. Thrust up like right now.
Oh, well.
Did spot him.
He had a couple opportunities there.
He kills his teammate.
I thought he had his shot lined up perfectly. I thought it was going to be a collateral. Kill his head, splatter all over the top of Hunted.
Oh, man, that's definitely not how DT wanted to start this round off.
Oh, that might be that's getting clipped.
That's a mishap for you?
Yeah, I think that is. Miss snipe and then braining kill in the back of the head.
All right,
I rather enjoyed that.
Bomb gets planted. Man advantage in favor of CLG, but they only have 2 players inside the bomb site, and DT, they're all going to hit this. 1 player falls, 2 players go down from CLG, and now the other 2, they're desperately trying to rotate back, but nobody on the bomb getting that defuse just yet.
So Chino has every kill of the game right now for his team. He might actually get the ace +1.
And just like that, DT, they're going to close it out with the win despite the mishap to kick off that final round.
He answered, though, by getting 3 kills in a row right after he did it. Ends up with double digits at 10 and 5. Sorry, Killa, but you made it worth it, buddy.
Yep. Bit of a mishap from Chino, but here's the round-ending kill cam from Diabolic to close it out for DT as they tie the series up 1-1. You're saying now this game or this series could not potentially go to game 5. We're moving into Uplink next.
Or they might take it 3-1.
Possibly.
They ripped off 3 straight against Envy. Now, Envy has not been the envious of all Stage 1. They've been struggling lately. No questions about it. But do I think Envy struggling is maybe somewhere in the same ballpark as a CLG? Kind of. I mean, the way Envy played at least to kick off the season when they were in second place for a while. I know they've been falling off, but I don't. It's hard to tell where their skill level's at right now in comparison to the other teams because it's been it was just up and then free fall.
There was up there, they were like up there, like okay, best teams in the game. You're like Optic, Rise, FaZe, maybe throw Envy up there. Now it's like, okay, Envy, you're looking like a bottom-tier team.
Well, if DT can do that to Envy, though, if they can lose game 1, rip off 3 straight, I got to feel like they can do it to CLG if they can bring this together. Granted, last night I think they got a 6-0 win in the game, too. This one a bit more back and forth. But I love this team on Uplink. Did you see Chino's shot, by the way, last night to win in the final seconds?
The bounce after the
I've never seen that. Like, right on the edge of the box, he hits that corner. Matt and I were losing. That was sick.
Yeah, I also saw the alley-oop they made to Envy to help them get a 2-point play.
I actually thought that was Killa, but it was Chino doing that one as well. So Chino got the pick, threw it right back, and he dunked. I've never seen that before.
All right, as we take a look at our after-action report, Chino and Diabolic combining for 20 kills and 12 deaths. Great performance from both those players, but now it's going to be Uplink. I think the pressure now on CLG to respond because, as we were saying, I mean, DT, this is a team that, I've seen them beat a team like Elevate in a game mode like Uplink pretty handily. So probably one of their best game modes at this point in time.
I think it's without question their best game mode.
Their best game mode at this point in time. Yeah. How did CLG approach going up against this team here?
Oh, God. I'm trying to think of what the strongest suit is for. I'm trying to think what yesterday really blew me away. They were good at hitting their 1-point tosses. And really it was just pretty disciplined with regards to control. Never really getting that 3 down, allowing them to kind of get punished and the other team to get a really good setup. I don't know what you'll be better judging than I am. I don't know what their strong suit is that makes them such a good Uplink team. But for a team that struggled so mightily to be the first team relegated, they're pretty darn good at Uplink. But the same can be said for CLG. Like CLG struggle, but they're pretty darn good at Hardpoint.
I feel like all of the teams in relegation, they've hit their struggles at one point in time, and it's because of those struggles that they're going to get relegated.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at H2K, they had a good start to the season, went on a 7-loss spree, then they turned things around. Now they're back on a downward spiral.
Yeah, what a weird – H2K had to have had the weirdest season.
They're probably one of the most bipolar teams out there.
7 losses. The LAN comes. They have a great finish at the LAN. They come back. They go 2-0. They, I think, got second in the 25K.
Yeah.
And then barely didn't win anything. Like, they went, 0-4 to close out?
I think so.
I was like on the H2K train, man. I was going crazy.
They were looking really good.
Right when we got to the 25K.
They get to the team house, everything starts turning around for them.
First thing I said to Matt was they're winning it. And I was like, they're not dropping a map. And they almost got to the final without like dropping a map. But then I don't know. And I saw some tweets from Fizzer that said just some bad energy maybe on the team.
Okay.
And that can be tough. And I no fingers were pointed. But when you have someone on the roster that maybe doesn't fit right, the chemistry's off. And we have something kind of going on with Envy a little bit, at least from a chemistry standpoint. But maybe some that brings a little bit of negative energy. Depending on the guys. Like there are... I guess there are players that can deal with that negative energy. It doesn't phase them. It doesn't bother them. But other people, that negative energy brings their gameplay down. And I don't know exactly what's going on with that team dynamic, but clearly, I mean, there is no more up and down team than what we saw from H2K. I mean, his complexity was kind of like this to a degree. Envy like this.
Is that a new dance move?
H2K is like a damn wave. Look at that, dude. Look. Woo-hoo! All right, I'm done.
You need to challenge Jack to a dance-off now.
I don't think I could. I'm a tall white man. I don't really got any moves. See, he's at least like 3 feet tall, and he's a little more well-rounded, so he's got a nice base. So he can do some nice moves, whereas I just look like an awkward beanstalk when I start moving.
It's all in the hips, all right?
Yeah,
David?
see, he's got some hips on him. I don't have any hips. I'm a skinny, tall man.
All right, but bringing back the conversation to Call of Duty, as we enter the banner protects, there's just one point I wanted to bring up. We always talk about like the positives of having a team house, but when you talk about bad energy, when you have the player sitting directly next to you, it's a lot easier to pick up on those bad vibes. Whereas, if you're not in a team house, you just mute your mic, you walk away, head to the bathroom. You can't really do that when your teammate's sitting right next to you.
I could not speak to this any more than when I coached Curse, because I had Burns, Tipsy, Mochilla, and Enable. Now, Enable can be a very good leader. He can be a great guy, but he is also passionate to a point where he will go at you. Sometimes passive-aggressively. He will, more aggressively, he will let you know when you're not doing something right. And then you have Mochilla, who, Mochilla kind of chirps at people, and Tipsy, who is one of the more... he's so big and scary. Exactly.
I'd be afraid to tell Tipsy he's doing something wrong.
And then Burns off just sitting in a corner like, guys, just get along. It was one of the weirdest team dynamics I've ever seen. But when they were on point, when they would get an early lead, they were passionate and energetic, and the energy was good, they would crush good teams. As soon as something would go wrong and they start nipping at each other, fell apart. They had no chance to win a map. It was insane to see. But that's true, because I was at a team house. There's nowhere to go. Like, what... you just can't escape it. You can't. Yeah. You have to sit there and listen to the comments. And yeah, it's just interesting you said that, because I saw that firsthand quite a bit.
Chino misses his last ban, so
Chino.
3 abilities get targeted there throughout that entire process. Let's see what these guys decide to do. Maybe a 2-2 split. Wouldn't be surprised to honestly see 3 weapons be brought out here. Perplexed Heatwave makes it through. He picks that up. I think Overdrive, Camo, and Kinetic were the 3 that got banned out.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. Killer goes back to his Vision Pulse. We'll see what Cinder and Felony. I think Cinder probably an Annihilator or Tempest here.
All right, we'll see how they round these ones out. You have to go Annihilator and Tempest. Now, Fringe, I'm trying to think of the last time I saw one of these 2 teams play this particular map.
We'll pick up the Scythe. So 3 weapons,
yeah. 3 weapons versus, 2. So 2-2 and 3-1 split here. Kind of a team preference thing, I think, at this point of what you feel like running.
Some teams prefer more weapons. Some teams prefer more abilities.
Overclock not going to be in it. So typically, God, you get 2 uses out of your weapon. Usually people will save it to kind of kick off the first half, because if you can get 2-3 kills off the rip, a lot of times you get early control.
Especially on Fringe, we saw what happened when Optic Gaming played this map against Complexity. Once you get that early setup going, you just get so many points behind you.
So that's why a lot of times you'll get that first specialist, late in the first half, but a lot of times they'll save it for kind of that break. And then you get it once at the end, where it might not even matter depending on the game score. So a lot of times, if you're a player with a weapon and uplink, you're getting 1 solid use out of it many, many times.
Yeah, of course, depending on how well you're playing.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
On average, you get 1 good use out of your specialist weapon.
2,
as you're saying.
And 2 depending on the score. Depending on what's going on.
We're seeing players kind of pick up on the fact that when you touch the drone with your weapon out, it kind of drains it a little bit, but you still keep some progression. So you're seeing players kind of make a big play, 1 kill with the Annihilator, turns around, get a second. Okay, that's it. I go pick up the drone, and I maintain as much progression as I have.
And that makes sense, because especially when you have these longer respawns, you might not be finding a kill for a little while. You're just going to waste that drain. Go ahead and pick up the drone. Sometimes can certainly be the smarter play. But just waiting on these guys to edit their classes before we hop into the action here for Game 3. If you are just tuning in, series tied 1-1. And I'm excited. I just got a good feeling about. Actually, I think I said CLG was going to come back and win, but I've casted DT's 2 victories lately. I think you casted the first one with me, right, over LG, and then last night over Envy. I've been feeling good about this DT team.
Yeah, something about them. Kind of what we were. I think it was against LG. They had that really slow start to the series, right? And we were just kind of like, we don't think their minds are really in it. And then they turn things around and reverse sweep LG. So this is a team, they're really riding a wave of momentum, I think. And hopefully it carries, because carries into relegation, because this is a team I love watching play. It's just, if they just iron out a few of the mistakes that they've been making, I think this is a really strong middle of the pack team.
Could not agree with you more. But, and I want to see, there's so many guys. It's become so tough, as Call of Duty Esports continues to grow. We've got a laundry list of players that have been pros or are current pros. I feel like that list of like that I guess at one point we're in the league and are on the outside looking in is just going to continue to increase. Like It seems like there's such a large number of good players. You think about the fact that like Merc, Apathy, Study, like people like that aren't even in the damn league.
Yeah.
It's wild to think about. And we've only really had the structure of the Pro League for what, two years pretty much? Well, coming into this, like 3 years basically. So that list just gets longer and longer, and it's tough when you see some of these guys like TK getting bounced to relegation. I think it's the first time they've ever had that ever.
Wow.
And I don't know what that is a testament to. New up and coming players, or maybe some of those guys falling off a little bit. Whatever the case may be, it's wild to think some guys we've never seen have to even deal with relegation.
So you saw what Felony did at the start of this game, just that high middle wall run. That's something that players are doing just about every single time. Off the break here on Fringe uplink, but moving over to Methods, he's going to come up behind some DT players. He finds Chino there. There's one more that we see through the X-ray vision. That's going to be Killa at the back end of the train tracks, but for the time being, nobody yet to touch that neutral drone. Methods just looking to continue to be a thorn in the side of DT as Felony's pushed up. He could get a touch on the drone, but he's just waiting for some more kills to go in CLG's favor.
Oh, he just got destroyed there by Felony. Now they're going to start to get forward accuracy. Has it out in yard. He has one player kind of teasing on the opposite side. The problem is they're not going to get any kind of favorable spawn here, as they're pretty much a split push right now. Now they're
but it
back
forces some DT
up.
out of position.
Yeah, but now I understand the reason he's wrapping back to his teammates, though. It was kind of tough when I think his teammates were forcing him to spawn right in front of the drone carrier. He wraps back around the map, and 6-1 point shot. Nice toss by accuracy.
All right, so CLG, they strike first, but not only did they get the first point, they're maintaining control over near barn, but as I say that, actually he leaves. He does find some spawners, but when you're trying to move that drone over towards top barn, there's a player waiting here.
No, don't bounce off.
Toss misses, but it stays on the map. This push it's still going for CLG. Felony, he's taking some fire diabolics there to trade to finish the kill. Turns around with the L card, finds one player over near top barn. Just trying to stay alive. His teammates behind him, Sender, should be able to toss this drone off the map or decide to push it forward.
Diabolic went huge. He was 0-2, and I think goes on that 3 streak there. All 3 big defensive kills that basically don't allow a dunk to go through. And this is not the first time we've seen him come out big. Now, look how odd the stats are for CLG right now. Everyone double to triple positive, and then Felony doesn't have a kill.
It's weird because on the hard point, he started off like 9-2.
Yeah, no, he'll bounce back. I expect him to have a big game. He's been coming up clutch for this team in respawns, but the slang advantage so far definitely heavy in the favor, I believe, of CLG, but they've only managed to get 1 point on the board. Thanks to some nice defense there from CLG.
Oh yeah, now both teams
DT.
just trading kills, trying to establish some map control. You got Perplexed with the drone, but he cannot score on his own goal. And this is something we were I was talking to Courage about yesterday. What if you accidentally went through your own portal, like with the drone? What if you just gave the other team points, like if that happened?
If you actually went through, I think that should be a thing. Like basketball, if you actually scored in your own hoop, I think that'd be awesome. Matt and I have joked about that a little bit because I've seen it come close. I've never actually seen somebody put it through.
I've seen people like in some online scrims accidentally like try to score on their own portal.
Oh my god. Yeah. That would be embarrassing. Imagine a team losing because of that.
Oh, what a play from Diabolic. Off the back of a dunk, Heat Waves finds Methods and Felony. As this is where DT could turn this game around, tossing the drone forward. They have complete control of the CLG base. Killer, these are some important kills for him to make. He spots 2, one inside bricks, one going all the way around back alley. And here we go. Now it's going to be his chance to find some kills. Turns to the corner, finds the kill on the Methods. And you see Sender, he's waiting for the dunk because he knows that CLG are out and about on the map. As his teammate dies here, he's going to go in for the dunk, but just trying to buy as much time as possible.
Because we always talk about the fact if you're going to overextend, if you're going to push back to the base, do it as a team. All 4 of them pushed through yard together, and it worked out perfectly. They only had Killa to deal with. They got control of the drone spawn. You stop down any push if you can't get the drone, right?
That would have been very scary if Killa found some more kills.
Oh,
in
if he would
that
have picked them all up. But that's the reason you push together,
Yeah.
right? That way you know that it's at least going to be traded out.
Yeah, Felony dies. That's going to be 3 down right now for CLG. Killa picks up the drone, and now DT have a chance to push on forward. Killa does have his vision pulse available, so as he gets closer towards that CLG base, he might think of popping it, but this might be a drone reset as his teammates are falling. He might just try to buy as much time as possible. And yeah, I think that might land near middle map or on top of the building. That could be a 15-second.
Yep, should be a 15 here, but now look at the pressure coming forward.
Yeah.
CLG pushing big time. They've got them locked down. They've got them spawning back alley as well. Killa trying to use some concussions, maybe get them out of position, but accuracy using the truck beautifully there. Killa picks up one, gets dropped almost immediately. They need to turn this into points. They've had them locked down for what feels like forever. The tip is connecting with nothing, and this is what's tricky. I guess I like the use here because you're in an aggressive position, but you got to get some points out of this, right?
He's found 2 kills already. Does spot 1 on the high wall run. If they could toss this forward and get a dunk after the side, say that's a good use. It's going to be up to accuracy. He's going to ledge slide off, and just like that, CLG get the dunk. There still is time for both teams to score here with 15 seconds remaining. You could easily get a 1-point toss-off, but we were talking about the use of specialist weapons coming into this map, how players like to save it going into the second side.
Well, they have 3.
Yeah,
they have 3.
That's what I was about to bring up.
Yep. They have a little
beats
more
them
options.
down. Methods dies with the drone in his hand. All 4 go down for DT, but not enough time after that. DT will hold on to the lead going into the second side, but it's only 1 point.
We'll kind of see what gets popped here off the break. And
by the way, Complexity might be one of the worst teams in uplink.
Oh yeah, no, you've seen them talk about it. Parasite has said very publicly, we need to work on it, and
they're down 13-0 against Rise on the primary stream.
Ooh. Well, they better hope we never have more uplink in a series. That is brutal. I remember seeing their actual record in it, and it was without question one of the worst by like a landslide. They have struggled mightily in that. They've been decent at hardpoint, okay in CTF.
Chino feels the pressure.
Solid.
He's like, okay, guys, we need to do something. I'm gonna bring out the Shiva. Something that makes it through the banner protection, just like that. 3 go down from CLG. He picks up the drone, going for the 1-point toss early on. And as you're saying, these are guys that, as of late, they have not been missing their 1-point tosses, but all 4 go down. After that, Killa also, I think he used his vision pulse up over near barn as CLG take control of the drone, and they have a chance to dunk.
You can see why this is a solid team, though. I'm not saying they're going to win the game. They're only up 2, but every player
They've
negative.
been a solid team all stage long. It's just a couple mistakes here and there.
But look at this. Every player negative. They're being outslayed, and they still have a lead in this. They
That's
are
certainly impressive.
They're definitely a strong uplink team. The drone going to be the Diabolic. You had a couple down for either side. They're going to try and push through yard. There's one player that's going to be on the flank, though, and they're both going to be dead in just a matter of seconds here. Yep, that's Perplex coming from behind, able to pick up both kills.
However, they are quite far out of position. That's going to be 3 down for DT.
They should be
getting favorable spawns. This could wind up being a dunk. Looks like he's going to toss it forward. They're moving around through silos. There are going to be DT players here to contest this. Can't get the 1-point toss off. As Diabolic now, he has Heatwave available. DT will now push forward, try to push out the lane, make Diabolic feel safe as they hold on for the time being. Now let's see if they can find some offense off the back of a big defensive
Well, the nice thing is you talked about the 3 weapons. I think Cinder used his off the rip that led to a 1-point toss, right? And I believe, Chino didn't have his scythe to kick it off, just got it recently.
Okay, Cinder is going to settle for the 1-pointer, so that makes it a 2-possession game. But DT, they're looking to control or hang on to whatever position they have as 3 fall. Diabolic just going to try to play corners and see if he could just catch players out of position, just be a nuisance for CLG and slow down their progression up the map.
Well, Diabolic doing a nice job. You see accuracy dropping there. Look at the middle of the map. It is just 4 green arrows starting to fly forward. Now Chino decides to use his scythe. He's still got a little over half left of the tank now. Can he connect? 1-player truck gets the assist there. Saw one back away to the right, but all this distraction with the scythe may lead to an easy 1-point toss. He is going to end up putting it through. Wanted the dunk, but I think he made the smart play there. Chino's going to end up dropping in the back, but you've got 2 points on the board on this side. You've got a 4-point advantage, and you've been really, we're 2.5 minutes into the second side. It's been all DT. CLG hasn't really had very many good opportunities.
Aside from maybe when they were pushing like through
that one time kind of.
Yeah, but that all kind of fell apart at the end. Another 1-point toss comes in from DT as, now they're starting to pick up their slant as well. And CLG, they've had some of these specialists available for a while now. You got to think, when are they going to bring them out? I mean, there's 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining.
Do they have both their weapons right now? Yeah, yes, they do. Yeah.
They have the Scythe, they have the Annihilator.
I don't understand that. If you have 2, I would think 1 should at least be popped before the second side.
Look, you need a way to stop the bleeding right now. Clearly, DT have control of the map. They have control of your base. You need something to aid you and finding kills over at your base. Sure, he's going to get some help from Felony. They finally will be able to stabilize here as Methods tosses this one out, but maybe they would have been able to keep it at like maybe a 5-3 lead for DT had they made a big play with like the Annihilator or something.
Very true. Well, under 2 minutes on the clock now, they're still coming forward, just trying to bury these one-point tosses. They've missed one or two, but they've hit a lot of them as they push the lead out to 6. And it's been CLG that's trying to play out of the back of their base for so long.
And now 90 seconds remaining. It's going to be tough for them to come back, but we've seen teams, specifically like Optic Gaming, have just these surges.
Well, there goes the Annihilator.
Plays. And just like that, yeah, the Annihilator falls. It's up to Methods. He's going to bring out the Tempest here. Jumps up, finds Killa. One more player over near the white truck. He knows he's there, just can't connect with the shot just yet. A tough shot to hit.
There he finally hits it. I say he's teasing so many shots out of him.
Connects with the headshot there on Chino. Now we'll start pushing forward, but he will get cleaned up. But, you know, we have seen teams, you know, if they get the ideal setup going on this side, they can string together so many points. Here comes the Scythe. Team kills Felony there, but he does find one more. Can he make it two? No, he cannot.
So their 3 weapons were used in the span of the last 30 seconds. The Annihilator didn't get a kill. Tempest got a couple that cleared out mid for a second, and the Scythe did nothing. They traded 1 for 1 with a team kill, and you have DT pushing forward. So all 3 of those weapons did nothing.
Plus they just 15-second resetted the drones.
I mean, the only thing you did is, I guess, that pressure on your base kind of went away a little bit by using those, but you didn't get a single point out of it.
Congrats, you have control of your base. Now you need to fight for mid-map control.
And there's only 30 seconds left.
Yeah, this game is over. DT, they're going to take a 2-1 lead as they win uplink here on Fringe. Now, the CTF coming up is going to be on Breach. Definitely one of the more exciting CTF maps, but it's not something like a Stronghold where we all know how DT like to play that.
Wait, is it really
map.
Breach? It was Breach last night, wasn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I read the top. Sorry.
Evac. Okay. Let's say if it's Breach, DT's 3-1. Dude,
sorry
Chino,
about that. I misread.
Chino, every time I've watched him on that map, I saw him going like a 15 spree, an 18 spree. He went 30-9 last night in CTF Breach. I was about to say, if it is CTF Breach, I can guarantee you this is a 3-1 victory right now.
We do not play the same CTF map back-to-back nights.
Yeah, I didn't know if we ever had that. That's why I was surprised. I was like, hey, really? Well, all right, Evac maybe give CLG a little bit more of a chance. Because, if that was Breach, I could guarantee it's over. It's done. I've seen both these teams play it quite a bit, and dude, Chino, every single time I see him play that map, he gets full streaks like 2-3 times. It's unbelievable.
When I think Evac CTF with DT, I'm thinking back to that camo play Parasite made a couple weeks ago, where they just lined up and things fell apart for DT at the end. You remember I did the theater
That was awesome. That was like there was like the 3 people when you zoomed out, and they're all just like right there waiting.
I'm getting pretty good at that theater camera.
You are very clever. I don't know how to use it at all. I'm very arthritic.
Yeah, that's why I don't let you drive either.
I'm a good driver. I like driving. I've gotten better. I love the new features too, man. The
definitely helps me
showing
out.
The meters. Very, very cool. It's almost, I have to get used to it though, kind of, because it's almost a little bit distracting because you want to hop to that person, but it's led to, I mean, there were a couple big plays I got yesterday that I know for sure I would have not gotten, just because it was a guy like standing still in like a corner or something, and I was like, I won't go to him, but then I'm like, oh, he has Heat Wave, doesn't he? And you go to it, and then bam, he pops out, gets a 3-piece. Very great stuff, Treyarch. Thank you. Wanderhar.
I said yesterday if I could marry Treyarch as a company, I would.
You might be able to.
I'm not sure if that's a thing, but
I'm not sure what's legal in the
I'm
United
very
States
attracted
anymore.
to Treyarch.
We allow some freaky stuff to happen. You might be able to. But let's take a look at the scoreboard now from that one. The first half, CLG outslayed pretty heavily again, kind of like game 1, but then you saw DT bounce back. So
on
Killa,
the first side, remember how heavily the slaying was in favor of CLG?
Killa went big because at one point, I want to say going to the second side, I swear to God, Killa had like 11 or 13 kills or something, and then just went huge. It ended up 30 and 23. Well, that's what you like to see.
You remember how he was playing? He was just roaming around barn and finding kills off respawn. He was just being such a nuisance.
Yep, excellent job there by Killa, and that's going to be a 2-1 advantage for DT. So what's funny now is DT, after never having a 2-0 week all season, may have their first 2-0 week. Never had 3 wins in a row. We'll have 3 wins in a row. If you did this 2 weeks earlier, you may, or well, maybe 3 weeks
If you win
earlier,
all your game 5s, you're in.
It's nice to see, though, because going into relegation, you'd like to at least see the best DT team all stage 1. Because some teams, when you don't make it into relegation, team changes happen, it falls apart, players start fighting, they're disappointed. I've actually seen a better DT team since the night they found out they're relegated, which is
weird, right?
Which is crazy. So I don't know if it's like
it's good to see, though.
The pressure's off the team. Now they're playing a little bit better. I don't know what the answer is, but
I think it's maybe they've been practicing a lot more with each other. Because they definitely want to
Killa,
make it back into stage 2.
team changes are great. They can be effective. What stinks is I think when you talk about CLG and DT, both made late team changes. Yeah. I actually do think both team changes made them better teams, but the result was about the same because I think it takes a little while. You need to get a couple weeks under your belt of scrims, right? It takes a bit to get the chemistry, but I don't think the accuracy for BLFire was a bad move. I think BLFire was playing great, but I think accuracy has stepped up in a big way for his team at times, and Killa certainly found a way to make an impact. But now as we hop in, first thing going to happen, going to be Afterburner Protect there from Methods. Right, there it is. So we'll come off the board. So Kinetic still in, Smoke still in, which can help in
Shiva
CTF.
Still in.
I think a Vision Pulse for both teams makes some sense for me here. I guess I don't think we're going to see 3 weapons again. I wouldn't think so.
Well,
but
they already have 2. Tempest, Scythe. We'll see what CLG picks up later. As Heatwave gets picked up by Diabolic, I for sure think you're going to pick a Heatwave here if you're on the side of CLG. Oh,
Kinetic Heatwave, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So then it should be Kinetic and then probably Scythe on the other side. Yeah, so we probably have a mirror match here for the Game 4. We'll see if DT can close this one out. If not, we'll go to a Game 5 with, I think, percentage-wise, the two worst Game 5 teams in the league. Which
I could agree with that.
A black hole is just going to open up.
Without knowing any stats beforehand, I could safely agree with that. That both these teams have pretty bad at Game 5.
Pretty sure they're the worst 2 in the league right now. So we'll see if that's going to be the case. Can CLG push it to a Game 5? Or are they going to collapse now and close things out? You got to think DT's had a couple weeks to kind of rebound from finding out they're going to be relegated. They've bounced back in a big way. They've looked strong. On the other side, CLG
had the most heartbreaking loss you could have
yesterday. So you haven't really had a time to, I don't know, maybe get back into a positive mindset,
regain composure.
Yeah, I thought the exact opposite after Game 1 when they came out and outslayed them by 56 kills. But Game 1's in the past. Now that's 2-1 advantage for DT.
That always seems to be the thing with CLG is they always come out strong. Like, this is a team, I'm pretty sure they took a hard point off Optic Gaming. Yeah. You know, back when they matched up. So they're obviously well-versed in that game, but when it comes to everything else after that, they're just not up to par with some of the other teams.
Yeah, and I heard, we've just heard that it's 2-6 for DT and 0-7 for CLG, but I saw Felony tweet out yesterday they won a Game 5, which was odd because anything I've seen tweeted out by us or stats I've seen or the COD World League, I believe has them not winning one. So I don't know if it might just be something we missed or if he's wrong and they didn't win a map. I don't know the case, but regardless, if they're 1-6 or 0-7,
so pretty bad.
Yeah, so not good, not good.
Anyways, so we know evac capture flag. DT now have a chance to close out the series right here, right now, and take the 3-1 victory over CLG. And as you were saying, this is a chance for DT to get that #1 seed going into relegation. They would be, I think, 9th place overall in terms of the standings. So we'll see if they could do it. Of course, they're also relying on some other losses to happen. Like if H2K win, then that can't happen.
Yeah, I think they had to win this final day, and then everyone else had to basically lose for them to get to that 9th spot. But I just don't know what you prefer right now, because honestly, we have no idea who's going to come out of the relegation with the 16 teams narrowed down to 4. We have no clue. And of the 4 that I expect that it could be, I don't know who I'd rather play. Like Liquid, I think, when on paper sounds like the best team, but recently, I mean, C9 Eclipse has been so scary.
They've been scary, so has the other C9 team, and then Panda Gaming as well.
Yeah, I know you have a Panda jersey. You have a Panda onesie.
I have a pet panda back in the apartment.
That should be a thing.
Tell on me, though, because I don't think that's illegal.
I'm pretty sure that's highly illegal.
I have a pet panda. His name is Jack Courage Dunlop. He's actually my roommate.
Actually, if Jack was an animal, he would be a panda. That's a good call. All right, everybody spawning in, getting ready to go here. Now, can DT close it out on the CTF? I don't know who I give the edge to here.
It's all situational, right? When it comes down to CTF, it comes down to like whoever could win this one specific scenario that's going to come out on the map usually wins.
What was it, you and I that casted that like 3.5-minute standoff, remember, with Complexity?
I did a Theodore rewind on that, you remember?
They score 2 caps in the final 30 seconds. Just, it's wild. Because it's a low score.
Let him go, let him go, let him go. Don't shoot. See, if he just lets accuracy push out the lane, he has a free flagpole whenever DT are ready.
Yep.
That's something in this game specifically that players have been so reluctant to do, and I just don't know why.
Yeah, just let that player run by. I mean, I remember just back to Ghost Blitz. That was that was like the tactic you relied on most, right? let a player run by, get that sneak score.
Yeah.
Nate Shot one of the best at doing that for sure. Him and Spacely, I remember back in Ghost, man.
Trust me, I know. I know.
Yeah, you needed the most communication ever for Blitz.
Yeah.
You better be on.
Unfortunately for me, I didn't call out.
No. You let one player slip through the crack, and that's I've never heard teams rage more than when like a blitz cap went through because you know somebody screwed up.
I mean, you have to check literally every single corner, and especially on a map like Warhawk, where there's just so many corners you could just like go prone in, and it was a nightmare. Anyways, back into this game. This is evac. This is Black Ops 3. It's gonna be Killa pushing forward on your
back
screen.
the memory train.
I had some bad memories in Ghost.
Yeah, you had some struggles during that, but you know what? Now I'm glad you're here. You're commentating with me. You're making
Big kill from Chino.
Especially on the cross like that, so you make sure you get the auto return. They're trying to pull it again. A little bit of cover here. They both line up for him, and that fell off again. So 3 times they have to rotate back to grab it, and that extra second almost cost them each time.
Perplexed is all alone right here. He has no help from any teammate. Sender, if he could just make it up this staircase and
now he's
find
got
the
help.
angle, he sees him along the wall, and he's going to reposition. Can he get the kill? He cannot. Perplexed.
That would have been off the map. If he got him, both the corners he shot at him, I think would have been a reset.
What a weird series of plays kind of on the defensive end for DT, right? They get like
clutch
kill, almost clutch.
Yep.
Just a little too slow on the side of Sender, but it's pretty tough because he doesn't really have anything to aid his speed there. But
well, they get the benefit of those first 2 being reset by the edge. Otherwise, that probably would have scored much more quickly. Almost gave him that extra second. Now very close to the Lightning. Up, take it back. Has the Lightning, is Perplexed. Should be able to get the Hellstorm here if he could just pick up an assist.
He's going to use the Lightning right now.
Anything. He wants to streak the base. It means the player's going to run right at him. He saw him, just can't find him, and not going to be able to connect. So that's a waste. Complete waste.
Yeah, that's going to be a waste of the Lightning Strike at the base of DT. Accuracy does fall. Memphis just relying on playing some base defense. As 3 go down from CLG, DT can now push up on the map.
That's tough because, like, you call that Lightning to expect to force somebody to you.
Yeah.
But you have 3 things to watch, though. He had to worry about them pushing in through door, coming on either side of the window.
I thought an HC would have been better there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Anyways, now we're at the CLG flank. He'll just find one defender. Can't pick up the kill. Diabolic with his Heat Wave. He could push forward as Chino finds 2. This is going to be the 3rd, so 3 down from CLG. Heat Wave right here. Heat Wave. Oh, he doesn't get it off in time as Perplex finishes up the kill there, and that stops the DT push.
Well, DT currently trailing by 1. So far, looking like we may have a game 5, but still a ton of time to go here. Chino, he started out 10-6. He has been one of the better players at just, picking up kills as far as slaying in CTF. The question is turning those into streaks, because streaks are so important in this game mode. I don't think he's really been able to get anything going yet to this point. Killa trying to play a little bit of defense. He gets pushed. Might have been another flag out, but Chino's there to close things down.
Yeah, Method's too far away to keep this push going, and because the DT players are spawning over near the kitchen side of the map, they know exactly what lane is being pushed out. They find Methods at the other side of the map as Killa pushes forward outside of kitchen. He falls, so he gets the information that, hey, a couple of CLG players are pushing over there. The H60 is going to move in, does clear out 1, but DT, they're forced to play back in their base, and this is not good for them.
I was just about to say Chino finally getting going and getting streaks, but Felony pushed him and took him out. What did Chino... I don't think he got to his... Can you check and see if he got to the Cerberus? No. Okay, so he didn't.
He didn't get anything. Just the HC.
I thought he got to his Hellstorm at least, because he was on a 5 streak, I thought. But okay. All right, Chino doesn't pick up anything, so never mind.
All right, Felony, the last one alive for the time being for CLG. And, despite them knowing where Felony's located, Sender decides to just rotate all the way back. This is going to leave Chino all in his lonesome here as he's pushing forward. Probably not going to check his corner here as Perplexed used his Heat Wave there just to guarantee the kill, I guess, but didn't really need to.
No, not at all.
I think if you were in Perplexed's position, you probably could have gotten that kill.
Yeah, well, or one of your teammates. You have 3 people basically lined up on defense.
Not a lot of time either.
Yep. All right, well, we are going to go in with a 1-0 advantage now. How do you feel about this lead for CLG? Do you think the side swap?
It's not comfortable.
Side swap gives DT maybe a little of an edge, or are you going to take the 1-0 lead?
I mean, at least you have a lead. That's what CLG's happy about right now, but you don't have any mistakes to make, right? So it's not the most comfortable of leads because just the one mishap, one missed rotation, one missed corner, and DT are right back in this game. Plus, everybody's going to have some specialists to work with aside from Perplex because he uses Heat Wave there with 15 seconds remaining. But let's take a look at everybody in the game. So no Kinetic, you got the Scythe, you got the Tempest, Heat Wave, Kinetic, Tempest, Scythe. So everything available for DT. If they could use something here and get the upper hand on the break, that'd be best case for them.
Oh, shots coming in there. Chino not able to get one. You see the HC out at the top of the map. They're going to be pushing up. CLG has a player that leaked through. Might be ready to get a cap. That's going to be
He's just following the HC up. He's like, okay, go here, go here. This is clear.
Yeah, no, that's actually working brilliantly now. As if he wins one, there's a second player there. Can he get through the door? He cannot. He will get peeked there. That's Cinder to make sure nothing goes on at home. Killa still working around Kitchen, seeing if maybe he can get a flag out. They've got to get a pull this one. He doesn't check his corner. Nice positioning there for Perplex. And Perplex picks up a few. All right, he's not able to do it. Only gets one, so he might have guaranteed a cap there.
Rotating back is going to be Felony. Can he pick up these defensive kills? He cannot. As you know, he's going to bring out the Scythe here, and he's going to hit the wall run as they're bringing the pressure to CLG.
I love it. You got to Scythe out. That's what you got to do. He gets the Scythe carrier. Can they get the return? Unfortunately, flag player down. They are able to pick it up. The return does come in. Now they've got to get back. Who's that player all the way back towards the base? That's Killa. Killa's got to go huge here. He has kinetic armor. I would fly out and pop this. Consider flying out and popping this. This flag carrier is dead. He whiffs. He whiffs. Method's not able to connect. He is going to get picked off, and Cinder rallies at home.
Like I was saying, you make one mistake on the side of CLG, and just like that, DT, you're back into the game. But actually, it looks like he's trying to sneak through. What? He could have easily snuck behind enemy lines and gotten into the DT base and set up for a flagpole. Instead, he goes for the shots while Chino controlling the HCXD out. Does find one defender. Doesn't pick up the kill. He gets cleaned up shortly after. It's going to be Felony now. Has kinetic armor available as he's pushing towards the DT base. Can't find the kill there onto Sender. As for the time being, things are going to slow down and stabilize.
All tied up here. 3 minutes on the clock. Diabolic finding one there by Kitchen, finding two. Now he's going to be able to push forward, but not much he can do. They're going to be spawning, I think, safe on their flag here as you see the pinch coming in from the bottom as well. I don't think they have much of an option. Oh, they kind of split on that player at the bottom. Oh, that was interesting. This might work out for Killa,
pops his kinetic.
This might work out. He might find another one from behind if he gets out there in time. Will he have anything left? No players left. One to beat, actually. The Heat Wave comes in, and he can't win it. The Heat Wave goes huge. Perplex picks up both. And that's what's awkward about that split push, kind of.
Yeah. Ooh.
That player that got the two, I think, was that player that spawned out behind Killa.
Yeah, and Perplex falls off the map shortly after that. Two down from CLG.
He got his clutch.
Yeah, at least that was a good use of the Heat Wave. 3 go down from CLG. Method's last one alive. On the other side of the map, it's going to be Killa pushing forward once again and putting pressure onto the CLG flag, forcing them to rotate back. He's got 2 defenders to get past. That's one. Turns around. Can't get the second. Was very close, though, onto Perplex. And the final 2 CLG members are just going to back up.
Well, this is just like we saw Killa. This is just like what Killa did in the uplink, right? He was just that nuisance kind of in an aggressive position across that 50-yard line. They just kept being a pain, make them rotate back, make them worry about that overextension through yard. He's done a similar thing here. Has made an impact through Kitchen time and time again, just being a nuisance.
For sure. Diabolic with Heat Wave. He's got a smoke grenade as well to throw out. Subtext to zone this guy off the platform, and he's going to go out and challenge. He falls. Killa now coming around the back. He gets sniffed out. 3 down for DT. Chino the last one up, and of course, he's way back at his base. So DT, they're going to have to make some defensive kills happen. Sloppy shots from Chino. Finishes it off at the end. DT all off respawn, coming around the back wall run. It's going to be Perplex, and once again, there we go. That's what I want to see. Sneak behind all these players. You come behind them, and now that's one down. You spot one over your top AC. You kill this guy. You pull the flag.
All right, there you go. Pulled it out. Now he has nowhere to go, though, except through mid, actually. Yeah, I was going to say through mid was his best route. And he's going to get pinched there. Nice rotation back to mid by Chino. But Perplex, you like that play. Unfortunately, the first 2 kills to come in were his teammates. If those would have been on the other side, that was probably a cap.
Yeah, for sure. As the smoke grenade goes out on the CLG flag, DT trying to push forward, but it's going to be a kill, last one alive. And he will challenge this player near the back helipad, get some initial shots. We'll challenge this, and cleans up that one. Another one coming along the wall run, but he's just trying to stay alive. Here comes the pressure on the other side of the map near the DT base. Another Heat Wave gets called in. Actually does find 2 after Perplex falls. He's now in a position to touch the flag. Can't get the kill onto Sender.
My, and that was close.
Yeah, that was very close.
Up. That would have been a sick 3-piece and pull. That probably would have been ball game.
Are we going to overtime?
It looks that way. With 30 seconds left, everyone's going to probably play pretty darn safe here. Yeah, look at the back of the base here for DT. They're playing for overtime.
Yeah, I think you send Diabolic out on the map, try to have him earn a Heat Wave. Going into the half, Killa halfway to his kinetic armor, but Chino is close to earning his Scythe as well. They're just trying to find these last few players on CLG, and we could see that we're definitely going into overtime now, but I think DT look like they have the slight upper hand when it comes to specialist progression.
You have, yeah. I mean, little bit of an edge, I would say. I think you had a Scythe up on one side, a Tempest maybe on the other, and God, this is anyone's game. I have no clue. It's been such a weird series. I mean, game 2 was close. Game three
it's funny
was
because
but game 1 was a blowout.
Yeah, on this first side here, CLG had a lot of chances to really make it like a blowout game. But DT just made those clutch kills happen. The flag falls off the map, and it's the auto return from there. I'm curious to see if these guys are going to decide to use their specialist weapons off the break in overtime here.
Well, I'm trying to think where you would set up nicely to use a Scythe on that side of the map. Going towards top might be tough to use. Felony, though, does win one, and they're rotating
Oh, he spots
back?
this guy middle, too. Killa spots one over near the top door. He dies. DT now looking around for some more players to take out. Diabolic finds Felony. Perplex falls off the map again.
He's struggling, right? I heard he was having some controller issues yesterday. He fell off
Every
the
time he would shoot at someone in Search and Destroy, he would reload his gun.
Yeah, that's what Jack was telling me. Maybe that's something to do with it. His controller is just launching him off the map. Diabolic will be cleaned up there in mid. Killa still trying to play
he
this
could go right to the flag.
side. Yes,
he could go right to the flag. Nobody
can.
from CLG, just one person off respawn. It's going to be Methods, of course. Killa really doesn't have any idea of spotting this one out, but as he touches the flag, can he get away? Methods is going to be right behind him. Oh, Killa double backs, and that's going to give the return to CLG. Little does Killa know, if he would have just ran forward, he might have been able to get away with that one.
Yeah, he probably, well, at least would have had a good chance to maybe get one on the board. A little over a minute in now to overtime. I'm taking a look at the other screen, by the way, as far as the other matchup goes. It looks like a pretty significant lead here for Optic. They're up 257 over TSM in the game 1. TSM,
That's pretty good.
TSM just got a sigh of relief. You know, they got in last night. Guaranteed they're going to be playing, but the scary part is unless they beat Optic, I believe they're playing Optic in round 1.
Ooh. Okay.
See, Krim's got a Weevil out.
Anyways, back into this game. Diabolic, big kill there onto Perplex, and he's going to be running this flag forward on the other side of the map. Methods is going to pull this one right, but another clutch kill from Sender. Drops the flag off the map for the auto return. Diabolic, you got to be careful. Diabolic, there's a player right under you. He's going to check his corner. Chino's there for the kill with the cutoff, and this is going to be a cap for DT. Looks like 2 minutes, maybe like 2 minutes and 1 second.
2 minutes exactly.
Flat. CLG have to beat that, otherwise they lose this first series.
And that, I mean, whose Scythe was it? Was it Accuracy that got gunned in the back?
This was Felony right here.
No, I'm sorry. A Scythe player, I think, got taken out. That might have been able to make a big play. I think it was Accuracy on the other side, yeah. Chino takes his in.
Those flags falling off the map for CLG, just those clutch kills coming in from DT. But let me just take a look. Just have a Tempest, whereas you have a Cerberus, you got a Hellstorm Missile.
Oh, my.
And he's going to waste no time calling in that Serbi. And DT,
Serbi? Is that your nickname for it now? Serbi?
It's my pet name for it.
I like it. I like it.
We kind of have a thing, you know?
Killa is maybe going to be able to leak in from behind. Yeah, Killa might have an opportunity here to just be annoying. I mean, this side was where he was such a nuisance in Kitchen before, remember? But look at this push coming. Look at these 2 players set up in the back. Chino and Diabolic.
Waiting.
Oh, my God. They are certainly waiting.
Well, he's controlling the Cerberus.
And what are you going to do here? Do they have EMP classes right now?
I don't think so. No EMP, no EMP.
Well, this is their first spawn for a lot of them, too.
EMP.
They're going to be switching, obviously.
Perplex pulls the flag away, but the Cerberus is there to cut him.
This is going to waste. I mean, by the time they take it out, it's going to be, they're going to have 30 seconds to
Honestly,
work with.
it's almost worth just like suiciding yourself at the base, just so you can take EMPs out.
You have to. I mean, you're not going to win this game unless you get rid of it, right? It's already picked up, I think, 3 kills, 1 on a flag pull.
There we go. There are the EMPs being brought out now from Perplex.
But do you have time? I mean, by the time you get up there, by the time you kill it, I don't know if you're going to have time.
Everything has to go perfectly.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
It kind of does.
Okay, there are the EMPs. Cerberus has been destroyed,
destroyed. All right.
This also gives Diabolic his body back in play.
So that's about what I said. You have 45 seconds now to work with. There's the pull. He has cover with the Tempest. He's locking that guy up in the back, but he will get dropped unless Accuracy somehow kills the entire team. The Tempest comes soaring in for Cinder. They're all coming off a spawn. They would need a perfect push, like basically 4 down and pull
Yeah,
here.
they need a perfect push going through like
and Cinder's still got a lot of juice left, man. Yeah, there's one.
He's just going to back up. One player trying to push through mid. This is going to be Perplex, but Sender just cleaning up house with the Tempest. Perplex, he's got to just teleport home, and yeah, that's going to do it. CLG are going to drop the first series against DT.
I'm not surprised. I told you, dude. If they won the game 2, I was like, they're taking this 3-1 because they're
Maven the Prophet.
They have a good uplink game. I'm not shocked ever to see them win uplink. If they could just steal, and they're not bad at CTF either.
Yeah.
If they could just get a little more consistent, I guess S&D, because you talk about their game 5s. S&D and Hardpoint, maybe they could get a little bit more consistent. And I'd have to take a look at their actual stats, but
yeah.
I know at least recently, man, when I watch them play uplink, I'm expecting them to win. Unless you're playing, your Optic or FaZe, I'm expecting them to take that. And DT, they're going to end the stage 1 on a 3-0 streak. Depending on the results from the other matches, then they have an opportunity to jump all the way to 9th, I believe.
Yeah.
Because the first match they didn't affect them at all.
And they have better map win percentage than the other teams. So
well, that was the big
if
part of it.
TK
Yeah.
lose, if H2K lose as well, then yeah, they will be in 9th place, and they'll be in a good spot going into relegation potentially.
Wow. That's insane. And Luminosity's match is pretty big here because if Luminosity wins, they will jump Complexity, I believe, right?
Oh wow, that'd be pretty significant, I think.
At least I thought. Yeah, they had
Slightly
like
higher
45 to
map
47%, so they have a chance to jump. So Luminosity would go all the way from kind of the dumps up to 6th place, I believe.
That's huge for them, I think.
And DT, if they go from 12th to 9th, it's just hard because that could be great. It could not. You want the higher seed, but it just...
It's almost like when you place 9th through 12th out of the tournament, you're like, yeah, I got top 9.
Yeah, right? Top 9. I got top 9.
I got top 9 in the league.
It's just it really depends on who they're going to actually end up playing here. But first match in the books, DT, incredible stuff, looking strong. It's been nice to see them come alive. Now we'll have one more match here on the secondary stream. I believe you're going to be solo casting that.
Yep.
I have to head out. I'm going straight to LAX, head to the airport, flying to Germany. I've got my 3DS loaded. I have some Amazon Fire thing, my cell phone with a bunch of Final Fantasy games. I got a new book I downloaded. I'm ready to go. And what's going to end up happening is I'm probably just going to sleep.
You have the European trophy with you. Hopefully you don't break it along the way.
That's going to happen. There's no way I'm supposed to protect that thing.
If you break it on the way there, you might as well not come back.
I'm actually worried I'm going to break it. But, hey, it's going to be fun. Make sure you guys tune in to watch Revan here at the final match. And also, for me, I'll be at the Stage 1 finals with the rest of the European crew here this weekend for their finals for $200,000. But, guys, quick break. We'll be right back.